I built a complete React dashboard with authentication, charts, and a working API in one afternoon using Claude Code. 2 years ago that would have taken me a full week. Here is exactly how I do it. Hey everyone. Frontend development used to mean hours of boilerplate, struggling with state management, and fighting CSS. Claude Code changes the entire workflow if you use it correctly. Today I am going to walk through how I build modern React apps with Claude Code, the prompts that actually work, and the mistakes that will slow you down. The biggest mistake people make is opening an empty folder and saying "Build me a React app." That gives Claude no constraints to work with. Instead, start by initializing a real project with Vite or Next.js first. Then drop into the project and let Claude inspect what you have. Saying "This is a Vite project with TypeScript and Tailwind, I want to add a dashboard with a sidebar and 3 chart widgets" gets you something useful in minutes. Do not ask Claude Code to build 5 features at once. Ask for one component at a time, and explicitly tell it which file to create or modify. Something like create a sidebar component in components/sidebar.tsx that takes a list of links as a prop and uses our existing Tailwind config. Claude will write tight, focused code that fits your project. Then move to the next component. This pattern is faster than batch generation because it prevents the cascading rewrites that happen when one component has the wrong assumptions. React state is where Claude Code shines. For local component state, just ask. For app-wide state, tell Claude which library you want: Zustand, Jotai, Redux Toolkit, or React Context, and it will set up the store, the actions, and the hooks correctly. I prefer Zustand because the code Claude generates for it is clean and minimal. Tell Claude use Zustand for global auth state and it produces a store file with proper TypeScript types in seconds. For data fetching, point Claude at your existing API. If you have an open API spec or a TypeScript types file, attach it. Claude will generate React query hooks that match the endpoints exactly. If your API is undocumented, ask Claude to inspect the network tab format and generate types from a sample response. The result is type-safe data fetching that costs you almost no manual work. For styling, pick one approach and stick to it. Tailwind, CSS modules, or styled components all work fine, but mixing them creates inconsistent output. I usually go with Tailwind because it gives Claude the most context. Every utility class is documented and Claude knows them. Ask for accessibility upfront, include proper ARIA labels and keyboard navigation produces components that actually work for everyone. First, keep a claude.md file in your project root with your conventions, file structure, naming patterns, what libraries to use. Claude reads it automatically. Second, ask Claude to write the test file at the same time as the component. Third, use the /review command on each component before moving on. Fourth, when something breaks, do not start over, paste the error and let Claude debug. It is faster than your own intuition 9 times out of 10. React with Claude Code is the closest thing to having a senior front-end pair programmer that never gets tired.